goes by a weight like nothing. There is a process in the health section which is important. I explained this to Armand very recently. Now I explain to you. Where are the papers? In the process of working, you have to understand what feeds the physicality and what feeds the emotion. When you're making cups, you have to understand the emotion and the physicality. Which part of the system you are using for what purpose? What material is used to feed the physicality and what material is used to feed the emotion? For those of you who are doctors, or those of you who are opening into this world of plasma technology, in the health section, it's very important to understand this. Let's take the case of obesity. Fat people. Why do we get fat? What does fat means? Why some of us can go on the diet and suddenly the first 2 weeks lose 10 kilo, and then 3 weeks later we forget our diet, we put 15 kilo back on. Understand the structure. And then understand the connection between the physicality and the emotion in respect to being fat. Do we get attention being fat? Do we control the structure by being fat? Bigger. Look at the world leaders. The ones who are very big, they walk, they insert the presence with their structure. The ones who short work underneath. And they achieve more because, as we say, the short people, 2/3 is on the ground, 1/3 is above. The tall people, big, the whole lot is up, very little on the bottom. And the ones who are short always have been effective because they plan things to cover the height, but in fact the height should be irrelevant. A man's soul is the same irrespective of the height. Understand why you're getting fat, why the person is so fat and gets fatter and fatter. Because inserts the position of emotion. When we were in the Sensano, anybody who's been in that area with us, we used to see very, very slim. You don't see fat people. It's just a part of Italy. Fat does not exist, or if they are, they hide, they don't come out. But when you look at the face of these people, very slim is not happy. Because the soul is not happy. Condition of the physicality has forced the soul to a position not to be. They are very sad faces. You come to the south, people large, normal, very happy. Because they don't have to hide to fit, to be by the leg, the Sansana Lagada, that it fits all the models who are around there. Money buys beauty. Here in the south, food buys beauty. You can eat whatever you like. You feed the emotion through the physicality of the food. Understand this, because then you understand what I'm talking about. How do you get fat? One feeds the other. When you are fat, when you get fat, and why we see such obesity in the United States, you use high content salt, sodium. Big Mac, chips, fries, pizza, huge amount of salt. Even in Western Europe, it has become fashionable to put salt into ice cream to enhance the sweetness. Subtle salt in ice cream, because the different part of your structure of emotion tastes, smells the salt before it touches you, enhances the sweetness of the sugar. So salt has become part of the structure. When You absorb salt. Salt in the body of a man cannot stay in the sodium content as a plasma. It needs the environment which with it creates both oxygen and hydrogen, and in a specific way, plasma of water. Now, you have taken salt, you have brought in the plasma of the water. Now you have to store it. Storing this, it brings the amino acid methylcholine, because that's a protein. It's the only way you can stop the damage of an AOH. You contain it. When it's needed, when you're producing nanomaterial in the structure of the physicality of the body of a man, the way you did with your copper oxides. But it doesn't get used. So what the body does, the body creates sacks of nanomaterial to store this guy. So now you have a store of sodium. What happens when you go on these diets to lose weight? What you do, you get rid of Mr. Water. You get rid of OH, plasma. I have a problem here. Now you have a sac which you got rid of the water. That's why you see huge losses so quickly, because now what you lost in the first 2 weeks is actually the water in the sac. But what you haven't done is you have not got rid of the sodium. Sodium stays embedded in the sac. You got rid of these guys, but not the sodium. The minute you start forgetting, and the body cannot go any further, because you get to a stable point that you're not losing any more weight, because I lost so much weight now it doesn't do, you give up, you start drinking and eating the same, you start putting water in the sac. And then what happens? Now you get blown up again. So you're back again to the same position. What's the problem? How do you solve this problem? In the brain of a man, there is a process of limitation. Because when the sodium is hidden here, the body is aware of it, but it keeps it for emergencies. Sodium is the most important element for the conversion of the gans into a solid state when it's in a specific plasmatic NaOH. So what happens? For you, the main target to lose weight is to get rid of this sac. And the only way you're going to get rid of this sac, if you get rid of the sodium. How do you get rid of sodium in the body? As I said, there is a limitation in the work, but the limitation is overridden because of the need of conversion. So what happens, what you got to do, you have two choices. You make a GANs of the material to get rid of sodium, to withdraw its plasmatic condition, but then you still have to handle the other parts, or you let the body does it in a very easy way. You look, you put your finger on your tongue, the index finger, you wet it, because then when you wet it, you touch your index finger on the tip of your tongue. The body is preset because it knows what you're doing. It wets a specific size of the finger, tip of finger wet. This means What you're going to do, this is what I need the amount of, this is what I can handle. Then you put the wet finger into a salt container, in a salt pot, whatever. Then you take the salt and you rub it on your tongue, and then you taste the salt. You taste the salt for 10 seconds, 15 seconds in your mouth, in your environment of the core of the roof of your mouth, around your teeth. And then what you do, you can't swallow not a bit. Then you wash your mouth 3, 4, or 5 times. That you cannot taste the salt, but you feel the salt. You know the sensation. You wash your mouth thoroughly, that nothing goes into the stomach. In this process, while you're doing this, rubbing it and rubbing it, the physical part of the body sends the information to the brain. Huge amount of salt is coming. Where am I going to store it? So what the body does, it decides to get rid of the salt which was sitting in the sacs, because a lot is coming. But the only piece of information which is not transferred in that 30 seconds, that you're going to spit it out, is not going to go in the stomach. So now, due to rapid crisis, the body disposes of the salt out of the sac, closes the sac, and goes into urine, and you dispose of it through the same lymph system as you bring it in. Now you have a sac which is just a fat, no seed of salt, to become a sac of water to increase fat. And then when it comes to burning energy, because now there is a fat which is not needed, the body starts closing the sac, getting rid of the amino acid as an energy source. This way you lose 3 to 5 kilograms over every month in a very natural process. You can do this salt wash once in the morning, once at night before you sleep, because then it processes different part of the material of the body which is not needed. You close the sac, you lose weight. But again, this comes to a point you have fed half of the equation. Because don't forget, the emotion side has to be satisfied with the physicality too. But because you've done this process so naturally, is the body has decided where it doesn't need it. It's happy with it. Now you have to sort out Mr. Emotion. How do you satisfy emotion? Emotion is satisfied when the correct amount of energy in the field strength of the emotion, which is connected with the carbon, is available. How do you make this available? It means very much it's like what I call, let's say, a table which is cluttered with dust. You want to get rid of the dust. Emotion is a coverage of the part of the brain which has no physicality but is covered with the energy. And this energy, because of the structure of the brain of the man, is connected to two things, to calcium or to carbon. And this energy of rapid energy use of carbon conversion with hydrogen connection is part of the progress of energy emotion the body needs. That's why we drink alcohol, to feed the in that everything is okay, and then the physicality can't control too much sugar of it. That's why we are happy with chocolate, because the energy released to the carbon through the sugar carbon link is what we need to bring a satisfaction that emotionally that cloud is covered. It's like you go into a room, is full of dust, you clean it, you just by brushing everything out. So the dust goes back in the air, but you haven't taken anything out, you just put it in motion. And then when you go away, the dust settles again back on the dust. That's what happens with you when you take sugar, when you take alcohol, when you take chocolate. So the key to the emotion is sugar. Connection of it, hydrogen and carbon. So what do? You go back again, lunchtime, and early afternoon,
Remember lunchtime and early afternoon.
Ah, yes. Remember the country that we're speaking of, where everything shuts down at that time of day.
Oh, yes.
It's easy to get parking spaces, though.
It is.
And the cops don't even give you a parking ticket if you're overtime because they're all on lunch break, too. But I guess they overload the internet at that time. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Waiting for that.
I guess.
Okay, where have you broken?
Oh,
okay, here he is.
Okay,
He's back
good.
again.
Where
What
am I
was it?
broken? Somebody's disconnecting me. I don't touch anything.
Well, what?
Where did you lose me?
Eat the sugar at lunch and afternoon time.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Where did you lose me?
Where were we exactly there, folks? Let me see.
Lunchtime, afternoon.
Okay, lunchtime. Okay,
Yeah.
lunchtime or in the afternoon. What you do, you go back. This time instead of going to the salt pot, you go to the sugar pot. You put your finger again on your tongue. It wets it. It tells it how much it needs because it knows your intention, how much sugar you need. Dip your finger in the sugar pot. Put it back on and play it in your mouth for 30 seconds. But don't swallow anything. It's like holding your breath. Then wash your mouth totally 3, 4, or 5 times that there is no sweet sugar CH goes into your stomach. So what has happened is that the brain receives the information the same as the salt, but this time in the emotional part, that there is so much is coming, there's going to be so much happiness that we can't handle. So what the brain does, informs the organs of the body which is holding sugar for happiness time or for release of the pain, because the happiness, that's what it means, that's when we hold most of the sugar, to be released into the blood circulation. Because don't forget, emotion comes through the blood. Physicality of the salt release went through your lymph. Now you receive so much sugar in your blood, waiting for this sugar to come in, but now you wash it out. Now there is no way the sugar can go back in. So in that point, you start releasing the sugar in different form, which is needed by body. And if you do it very too much, you get absolutely drunk out of your head. Because now it's like drinking a bottle of whiskey. But what this does is, like, as I said, you dust the room, but dust the table, but all the dust is in the room and it settles back out. This time you put a vacuum cleaner and you take all the dust out. There's not much to sit on the table. So in that process, you have changed the level of the emotion of the man. So now you find a balance between the emotion and physicality. This is how a stable loss of weight is created. It'll happen because as you lose, you change the state of mind. With the sugar, you do every 2-3 days. With the salt, you do it every day, twice a day. So you bring a balance to physicality and emotion. You get rid of the water, you get rid of the salt, you get rid of the housing, and then you find a pleasure to the size where you are. None of us has to be size 8. You put 2 hands around it, you can feel it. And none of us is happy with size 80 because depends what it satisfies the emotion. So now you understand from the beginning of the teachings why we speak about the physicality and emotion and the line of connection between each other. So somebody is happy with size 80, size ball, 250 kilogram, because this way they get the emotional attraction and attention they need. And somebody is happy with a size 6 or 8. And somebody wants to be 6 or 8 to get the attention because it's fashionable, but psychologically they don't want to be that. They want to be 10, 12. and then you get the feature we see in North Italy. So understand how you do these things. Understand the logic behind it, understand the process the body works behind it. Then you find anywhere in the universe, you don't even need a wire. You don't even need a pen. The pen is the pen of emotion. And then through it, you can control the physicality. A lot of understanding of nanotechnology is because you are totally dependent on physical manifestation. But you know, nanomaterial doesn't do anything. It's the fields which you don't see which does the work. I'm sure Renan in the next teaching next week will teach us more new concepts. And I'm sure a lot of you will come up with new ways of doing it. But please, I encourage you to test. It's your right. If you are not a taker and you're a giver. Human society has given you a lot of tablets. A lot of people gave their life for them to be the guinea pig. But with plasma technology, there is no guinea pigness. Your body takes what it needs and not more. And if anybody tries to frighten you, just ask them, can we look at your bank account? Or what is the intention behind it? We know there's a group in Germany, as I said, because we could not help. We did not have the facilities to help their cousins or their brothers. They can become the biggest enemy of the foundation. Everything is wrong with the foundation. But the life is meager. Nobody lives. But the damage they do is to themselves, to their soul. We've seen the people who used to write for the foundation, now they write against the foundation because we stopped their bank accounts. So there was no intention to serve humanity. The bank account was important. Understand what you do, how you do, the reason you do. When you see the change, understand the reason for the change. And if it is unconditional change, right, back to us. Bring it in from next week. Every one of you who does a development has a place like Renan, like we gave to Dr. Elia Kostova, like we gave to the others, Alex and the rest. This is a platform to share knowledge. And the health is the key to the world peace. Bringing peace to the man will bring the peace to the humanity. A nuclear physicist. You're honorable gentlemen, we give life to you and your children. We give hope, painless, free life to you and your children. And this is from Iranian. We are not enemies, we are all the same. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Cash. I have a question, and it's partly through Max and the Chinese group, but everybody would have a similar question of these kinds of reports that you'd like to have people bring forward. There's the one type of usage of GANs where somebody might have a large container, like a large jar of water, and they put the GANs, a small amount of GANs in the water, and it would settle way down to the bottom of that container, and then they would drink the water on the top part of the container once it's all settled out, supposedly. Now, would that kind of report, would that be beyond the limit of what would be acceptable? Is that going too close to the GANs, you might say, rather than having it between a protective barrier. Because
the thing is, when you do that, maybe as you don't see it with your naked eye, but there are particles of GANs. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. There's still particles of GANs are still floating in the water.
Exactly, yes, that's what I was thinking.
So do not consume. There is a way, I've seen a beautiful way, I think it's by Mark or Mike, which has explained how to make water. I would like him to come if he's online. He's put a beautiful drawing pictures on the internet.
Mike, you mean Mike Nazif or?
I don't know. He's made how to make water. And how to make water, nobody has understood. Even he hasn't understood. He's done the process. But maybe he's understood. Maybe if he's there. Caroline, do you know what's his name? The guy who did the water twist? He makes water?
Mike Nassif.
Mike Nassif. Is Mike Nassif online?
Yeah, check here actually.
I think Mike Nassif has been nominated as one of the future teachers in the next term. And he's coming up with some beautiful ideas, but if you understand it, I want him to explain it, then I add to the knowledge. It's important about what you just said.
I don't see him in the chat. See if he might be on. I haven't seen him on the Facebook, or sorry, on the live stream as well tonight.
He is in United States. I think he could be asleep. He listens
I
very
think
well.
he's sleeping.
He's sleeping. We bring him in next week because it's important in what you said.
There's
A lot
also,
of you-
I know Moldris is going to have some kind of presentation as well. So.
Anybody who likes watermelon, Italian watermelon, it's the food of physicality.
Wow, that's bright.
So let me explain to you what Mike has done, if it's Mike, or I explain what is on the internet. Go and find it. It's about this water business you're talking about. I was waiting for this for a long time for somebody to come up with it, but now it's on the table. We explain the science behind it. What Mike Nassif has done, he has taken exactly what you said, the water of the GANs, and then he has put the caustic water, and he's put this GANs in it, this water, which is taken from the GANs. And remember how you made the GANs. You put a caustic, and then you put your copper in it, and then you added the water. You made nano-coated. You made the GANs of water, copper. Now, with using the material, the water which is already GANsed, coming from the GANs water, as a water for using caustic to heat up, he creates the GANs of water. He lets it cool down, the caustic. Then he takes the water of the GANs when it's cooled down, and he sprays it on a copper wire or on a nano-coated copper wire. Now he transfers the energy of the information of the GANs of water on the copper. So now the copper wire, and what it does in his drawings very correctly, he shows it like this. He takes a wire and then he twists it 8 times. In a way, a loop of wire which gets looped 8 times, and then he starts collecting water. And he says this is how you make water. Because now the gravitational field of the water as a GANs is sitting on the wire. And the same attracts. In touching the nano layer, and the copper converts the fields from a GANs, from a gas or a vapor, into the plasmatic water, and it drips up because it's coming in touch with the copper strength. So this is how he produces water, clean water. 8 drops a minute or 8 drops a second. Till this thing gets clotted and the fields get changed and you cannot produce. This is a way to produce water in clean water. What does happen? Now what is done with this cold gas on the copper, he has done the same thing as what we did in the CO2 box. In the CO2 box, okay, let me go where it is. In the CO2 box, we put the copper, nano-coated, and the zinc on either side. We created the gravitational magnetic field of the carbon, which in interaction with the water became the CO2. With his twist here, and the way he does it, he creates the same environment as in the middle of the container of the same as H2O, which he coated it on the wire. So now water rains from the sky. He has created the gravitational magnetic field of water. It's fantastic. Go on the internet, find it out. If we can do it, you copy it, you can know where it is on the internet. Caroline, could you send the link of his loop to Vince that he can go? You have it? The water loop from Nassef. Then you, Mike Nassef here. We watch every move around the foundation. Anybody who's participating the correct way, we encourage and we bring it out because we work as one nation, one family. When you're a family, when you have a good fruit, you don't eat it all yourself. You give it to your son and your child, your brother and sister. And that's what it is. This is a beautiful way to do it. But now you understood the physics behind it, the process behind it. And when he stops, you spread it more because it means the water gas has already converted itself to a solid gas as water, but because you don't see it, as part of the structure of the water itself, it becomes water. So when you put gas in the water and the gas settles, that water can be used to produce water for you. And if you understood that, then you see how you can use any combination of the gas which you need. Send it to Rick. Rick will put
No,
it.
don't send it to me because
Send
I can't screen share today.
So send it to Vince.
Vince or Shandor, one or the other might be able
No,
to.
send it to Sandor. Sandor can put it up.
I think he can.
Facebook. Or send it to Vince and Sandor. And look at the way he's explained it so beautifully, exactly like Renan. Only thing I ask you, gentlemen, don't get carried away that you have become something important. With sharing knowledge, you become humbler. We've seen this with people we encouraged. They thought they became the queens and the kings. And in fact, they became the queen of their own demise and their own king of demise. So we encourage people because we are not making favorite people or prominent people. We are sharing people who are human to share. And that's what it is. And this position with Magnasa, it's beautiful the way he's done the work and he's explained it. And the way he shows it, the same as Ren. Understand the process, how it does. Don't copy it. Because if you understand it, you change the water to something else. What about if you put the GANs, let's say in a jam, put the GANs in a juice, and then use the water for another purpose, for creating the same juice all the time of the same strength. So understand the process. Is beautiful the way it's done, the way it's explained. It's beautiful the way we see people openly sharing knowledge. As long as I'm here, I try to keep this ethos. And we don't go to commercialize. We go to be able to give it because when the people have something in their hand which works, they believe, they understand, and the technology rapidly opens up. We need to do this. The more people are in touch with, the more people find safety. The trust comes from us, which carries on to our government. We got to trust each other. The government are just a name because one of us is a government. People who come here, we encourage you to copy, we encourage you to mass produce. I had a long talk yesterday with the Italian designer. He designs for one of the most famous cars in this country. I said, listen, he says, I want reality. I make a car, every car sold, I get so much for it. You want me to design for the Keshe Foundation, and then the design, I want to be paid per piece by piece. I said, listen, Giovanni explained to him last week, he couldn't understand it fully how it works. I said, I can give you what I do from the foundation in Italy, but I give all my technology free to everybody. I can't guarantee the rest of the people pay you. If you're happy with what we get from the Keshe Foundation for pieces we sold, you're happy, then you serve the humanity. The rest we give free. He said, I understand now, why not? And I work harder to make sure everything is correct. I even take over, not as a designer, to make sure in production everything is correct too. When people understand how we work, the reason we work, they don't convert, they change their behavior. So we share, we produce these needles, we produce everything else. We sell it on the site of the foundation. We just don't put it there and put the price and don't show to anybody. I asked Sohail to come today and show the battery. To me, what he's doing is unethical. We send the scientists to you to develop, and the knowledge of Eric Clausen belongs to the foundation worldwide, not to be hidden. Doesn't matter how many pieces it can be sold. For that reason, we're bringing a more powerful unit in much smaller capacity into the market very soon. It's the right of Omega Magnum to do what they like. It's the right of people around the world who develop better technologies at cheaper. I've seen the tag $45. I can sell 2 amp, 10, 12 volts at less than $2. Do not abuse our trust. We have informed number of governments how the technology is getting used by the name of themselves, where it actually is taken from the Keshe Foundation through the support of the Keshe Foundation. And the strange thing is, Caroline can tell you, I walk into an embassy, I give my name, I don't ask anything, I meet with the ambassadors. I'm well known by the diplomatic corps around the world about my work and the way I run. When we see misconduct, we inform the governments, and we see a lot of misconduct by a different number of people around the foundation. I walked on Tuesday I told you I had to go to a meeting. They just gave me time to come. I asked the day before to meet with the most powerful man here. Because we are correct, they understand. Do not come to the foundation. Do not see us as a milking pot, but see us as a way that you can milk us for the knowledge that you can help the others. At the same time, you have a comfortable life. The help pens, what Renan has shown, worth billions, is on the table for you free. Maltese, Americans, Chinese, copy it as fast as you can, not because of anything else, because you can really start the people's pain so quickly. Mass produce it, give it free. We had a beautiful email yesterday. The guy says, the amount of money I spend on beer, you lot cannot afford every month. I have a lot of equipment which I want to give away because I learned a lot from the foundation. And I want to donate these equipments. It fits for the research center in Lino, in what do you call it, Barletta. We said, if you want, you can send to Barletta. If not, find another Keshe Foundation user. It will be used for the teaching facilities. So please, I ask you, as many as you can. Your toe hurts today, make a GANs and see the pain goes away very quickly. You know somebody with a cancer, don't touch them. Don't get them to eat it. But see if you can test. Tell them, explain to them what it is. It's them to make a decision. Explain to them that the medical which you're going to use, chemotherapy, a lot of people have given their life for you to be there. And look at the Bible. Just show them what is the side effect of this medicine you're going to use, and tell them how do you think it's done by the other people sacrificing their life for you. Explain to people to understand the ethos of the Keshe Foundation. We don't fight. It's too much energy. We explain, people fight them.
Mr.
Have
Keshe,
you received it? Yes.
In the meantime, we do have a presentation by Emmanuel Spiteri, who has a presentation about the pain relief pads used in Malta Island. Would you like to see that?
Yeah, Emmanuel does a lot of work for the foundation in Malta. Thank you very much for all your help. Yes, why not?
Okay.
He's a teacher. He's actually a teacher by profession. He can teach it very nicely.
Vince, maybe you can unmute Emmanuel, or I guess he can maybe unmute himself there. Emmanuel, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. And now the problem is I don't know if I can present this on the, I don't know if it'll show up with the screen share. So let me try it and see what happens here. If not, then I'll have to send it maybe to Vince. I don't think that's showing up now for the screen share except in the, oh, no, except in live stream. Okay.
Rick, I had that problem before, and I think what you can do is instead of sharing just the program, you can share the screen that it's on. So if you make sure it's full screen on another screen, you can share your entire screen and it should show.
Okay, maybe. Let me try that.
We see it now, or we did see
Oh,
it for
really?
Yeah.
It disappeared.
Okay, let me try that again. I had to go full screen and try share screen. Do you see it there now?
Not yet.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
let me try it differently. What happened there?
Would you like me to entertain you while you're busy? Would you like a coffee? Anybody for a cup of tea?
Send one my way.
Well, you can have one. I hope you enjoyed it.
Desktop.
We have beautiful Italian sweets if you like.
How about
Vince is on the Skype.
that?
We can pick it up regarding Mark Massive.
Do you see it there now?
Yeah, you see it now. Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, I've lost my live stream. I know no
Let me
idea what's
explain
happening
something
there.
I see here. We see here immediately, it says quantum, Omega Quantum Technologies. This pain pad does not belong to Quantum. This pain pad has been used by me for 10 or 15 years. I gave it to Sohail to commercialize it. And now it'll be produced, some 12,000 of it on some way to Italy. It'll be produced. You please stop using name of companies. We're taking off. The only one which comes off is the Keshe Foundation, which belongs to all of us. This Quantum Omega is a structure in China, which we gave the technology and the name of the manufacturers to make these pads. Now it'll be produced here, it'll be produced in the United States and around the world. We have informed the manufacturers to be able, and if you need it, financially you cannot support it, we have in stock about 15,000 pads getting shipped, in the process of manufacturing, and in stock. So, for example, in let's say Mexico, or in Chinese community in China, you need these pads. The foundation has already paid for it. We deliver it to you. You make the pads. We got the magnetic plates. We give it to you, and then you pay back to the foundation for it, and then produce it to create job and the pain. So please stop using the name of companies. The Keshe Foundation from now on stays as it is, whatever name it is. And as I hear from Vince, that all the Keshe Foundation websites worldwide are going to go under the way which is called with American website design, which is getting completed. So we all look the same as we are, with the different flags on the top to be. So please, when you put names, the logo of the Omega Magnum will be deleted from the Keshe Foundation to the Keshe Foundation CO2 kit. The new CO2 kit, which is coming out of the Keshe Foundation, is on a flat pack. And you assemble it when you receive it. You can use it as a universal unit, as we explained before. So please refrain from using names except Keshe Foundation. Omega Quantum is a direction which a company, Sohail, has opened up in China. When he came here, we gave him the technology to transfer, to manufacture. Now we do the whole packing on the name of the Keshe Foundation, produced here in Italy. And as I said, if you have a manufacturing base, like in Philippines or whatever, the Keshe Foundation has already paid for these mats. You have to bring it to produce as a pad. If you want the foot slips the way for the slip-ons, for the pains, let us know. We buy big quantity, and that quantity allows us to get a huge discount. We pay for it. Please understand, when we pay for something, is the foundation money has to be returned to the foundation, and we can do more. You don't have the initial capitals to do it. The foundation is prepared to support you. So this way, from now on, we, if let's say in India, somebody wants 1,000, please, we can send it to you, because you can afford the initial cost of setting it up. Make it, when it's sold, send it back to us. The Chinese do this very well. Lisa has done that a couple of times. They translated the paper to Chinese, whatever they collected, they put in the foundation, allowed us to do a lot of things. So from now on, we work as one base in respect to the health and the other things. You see a knowledge. If you can produce the pens cheap in Philippines, in Thailand, in China, but you need the initial finances. I've told the Chinese Keshe Foundation in Shenzhen. From the foundation, we provide you the cash to start doing it. It's there in our tape. We finance the spin-offs. We cannot do millions, but there's enough that we can all start collecting to develop further and further. So if you look in this pain pad, you hope you wish to have, send through the appropriate channel who you are in the point we know. We have at this moment 6,000 on the ship to Italy. We have 10,000 pieces which are paid for and in backup. We can send from there. If you want to pay the transport for it, or we pay it, you put the finances back into the foundation, that we can do more with the others. So for the first time, we give this facility to you to use the Keshe Foundation central assets for helping your own nation. We can't give you 1,000, 10,000 in one go, but start small and help yourself and your nation. We can give you these paths to make it yourself. Carry on.
Okay, Manuel, do you want to help direct me through your presentation here? I'm on slide 2 right now.
Okay, as a health foundation in Malta, I was given 10 of these pain pads to be tested by volunteers in Malta, and I approached several people and accepted to be volunteers on this, and I have about 8 or 9 of them here. So if you Okay, I can read the first one. A number of people in Malta from different age brackets volunteered for using the pain pads in different areas of their body according to the pain they suffer due to everyday routine work or posture of the body they got used to. Okay, you can go to the next one. Okay, what's behind the pain pad? It's a programmed magnetic material which applies a combination of constant and gradient fields that assure a different sufficient magnetic and gravitational fields. Those is applied to the both superficial and deep affected tissues. It will modulate the body's normal production of anti-inflammatory chemicals from cells in the affected tissue and will accelerate pain relief and increase blood flow instantly. Next one. Okay, here is Raymond, 56 years old man. He's a security guard, has about 8 hours a day of standing upright. He suffers from waist pain and lower back pain. Okay, so he tried it. He accepted to try it. Okay, before he discovered pain aid pad, normally when he has pain, he takes painkillers for 3 days to relieve the pain in his back. Now, instead of painkillers, Raymond uses the pain relief pad and wears it at the point of pain for 4 hours. As soon as he wears it, his body posture becomes upright and kept steady. Thus, it immediately makes him feel comfortable. And okay, Raymond, I meet him regularly, and he said he rarely has the problem of his pain, but when he has it, he put it on for maybe 1 hour or 1.5, and he's back to normal. So he's not using any more of pills or painkillers. So he's really satisfied with the pain pad reliever. Okay, Alfred. If you go back, please. Alfred is 63 years old. He's still active as a carpenter, works about 8 hours a day. He complains from pain in the muscles in the upper knee due to walking up and down the stairs due to the location of his workshop. He uses the pain relief pads for 90 minutes. The pain is relieved. He did not have pain for 3 weeks after he had a hard, busy day. He repeated the process and had the same results in 90 minutes. So he's having like instant results when using the pain pad. Okay. Margaret is 59 years old. She's a housewife. She had an operation 1 year ago in the spine, so she easily gets tired and feels pain in her back. When she wears the pain aid pad, she feels normal after 90 minutes. She occasionally repeats the process when she has a hard day's work and feels strong again after 90 minutes. So it means that the pads are really effective. Next one, please. Okay, Rita, 85 years old. She's not very physically active, so she do a lot of knitting while sitting. She complains of having back pain when she enters the bed and could not sleep. When she wore the pain aid pad for 2 to 3 hours before she went to sleep, when she went to bed, she did not have the pain anymore. She did not feel the pain anymore. After 4 weeks, she still did not have any pain. She is more happy now. Okay. Joe is 60 years old. His job provides water services in the street infrastructure, and he uses heavy-duty tools. He works in different weather conditions during summer heat or winter cold. He complains in pain in his waist and legs. He tried the pain aid for several hours and had little results. He went to the doctor and had made medical tests. He found that in the diagnosis, he has spine injuries and knee therapy. So this didn't work for him because he had other severe injuries. Okay. Okay, okay, it's ready. Check next one. Ready. Okay. Okay. It's me now. This is, I had a car accident 8 years ago, and I had back nerve sometimes will create pain. When using the pain pads for 2 hours a day for these consecutive days, the pain stopped. I did not complain anymore. Okay, so whenever I stress my back and have the pain, I put it on and get better after 1.5 or 2 hours. Next one. Okay, Claudio is a 29-year-old man. He works as a tile. After a week's work, he feels pain in the back due to bending posture. He wears the pain relief pads for 2 to 3 hours, and the pain reduces, but did not stop completely. Next day, he wears the pain relief pad again for another 2 hours, and the pain stopped completely. Whenever he overworked and have the pain, he uses the pain pad for 2 hours, and his pain stops. So since he used to have pain for a long time, it didn't work for the first day, but on the second day, it was okay. Okay, Maria is a housewife. She suffers from tennis elbow due to use of hair dryer. She tried the pain relief pad over her elbow for 2 hours for 3 days. The pain is reduced, but not completely. The doctor said that she has to be operated. But I talked to Maria about a week ago, and she said she's not going to operate because she's feeling a lot better. Okay, Louis is a 69-year-old man. He works 6 hours a day as a carpenter with back pain. Although he's retired, but he's still active. He explained his experience with the pain at bed. On the 24th February, he complains that he had pain and waist pain after handling and lifting heavy objects. He started wearing the pain aid pad from 1445 till 2030 with no results. Okay, then on the 26th February, he wore the pain aid again from 8 o'clock in the night, in the morning to 10 in the night. Nighttime pain reduces. On the 6th March, wears the pain aid pad again all day and felt very comfortable. Still there is pain. On the 7th, he wears it all day and night, and pain was relieved. On the 8th, he did not wear the pain aid pad, but at night there was no pain. On the 9th, he wore it all day, feeling very comfortable, because even when you wear it, it makes your back straight, so it will help you keep straight. For the first time, he can stand straight without pain. On the 12th March, feeling some pain again after a hard day. So next day, he wears the pad again, and on the 14th, lifted the gas cylinder, had pain again. It resulted after 4 days without using the pad, and the pain stopped in the 6th day. This means that using the pads, pain aid pad stops the pain faster than resting. When he wears the pad during driving, there was no results, probably because of the metal in the seat. I still meet Louis, and he rarely uses it now because it's like the problem he has in his back now is solved. Ian, 27-year-old, is a furniture sprayer. He has a pain back due to carrying of heavy objects. He wears the pain aid pad for 2 hours and had no results. After the third day, his pain started to reduce. On the fourth day, the pain stops after wearing the pain aid pad for 2 hours. He used it about one time per week after he lifted heavy objects during his job. But he's very satisfied with the results. Next one, please. Okay. All right. So if there will be new pain pads to try, I'm ready to get volunteers to test them again.
We are prepared to supply you with the raw material. If you can get it made in Malta and create some jobs, then you don't need to wait for us.
All right, give
Okay.
us details and I work on it as soon as possible.
So send me the detail where you want it. I get the manufacturers to ship it to you, maybe 100, 200 pieces.
Okay.
And as usual, return the funds to the foundation that we can do our work. Next question. You see, this is beautiful. Now we need somebody in the background to start making a data sheet. This is what we call clinical trials. Now we know this is the path. Let's see what's the next step. How we will do the different thing with the wires, which has been put forward by Renan. Renan starts teaching exactly as we done before next week, and then we follow and build on it, and we add to the knowledge. As I said, you got to understand how does this pain pad works. Then you can add knowledge to it. The pain pads are especially made. I have used them for over 10 years now, so I know how they use. I use them for some cases of cancer. I use it for emotional balance as a helmet. What we do in the helmets, because you see, I explained to you, if you remember a few hours ago, how we changed connected the cancer from the hip to the brain. So what we do, we use the pain pads in the helmet in the form of, if you look at it from the top, like strips. So when you use them like strips, then you decide which part of the brain, which part of the, this is the helmet looking from the top, which part of the physicality you want to touch. And then the body takes from it as a plasmatic gravitational magnetic field, because now if you look at it, this is the shape of the strips. The strips sit here. So there are different applications for it. If you got a migraine you can't get rid of, try this. If you got a migraine, if it's your face this way, oh God. If this is your face, if I can go like this, and this is your eyes, try the magnetic strip of the pain pad across there. Or across there. Do the same with the sticks. Start expanding and report back. Now, people were waiting for us to come with, what do you call it, testimonial. These are the people who used it. Hopefully, if I can get a collaboration and cooperation, I know he is on the line. He wrote to me that he'll be online. Our volunteer in post-cancer treatment. of the Keshe Foundation. He's a dentist doctor, and his son is in the medical training too. So he can explain to you how the plasma of the technology has changed, that his blood more or less cannot be said that he's got a cancer. His testimonial will be important to the what we call chemotherapy section. They understand why we support the chemotherapy. It's just the side effects has to be gone. When the side effect of chemotherapy is reduced, the body is perfectly in order. So we need your testimonial, as many as possible. Try to make it brief. We give you a room to come on. Next 5 weeks, if we have to go from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we carry on. Because it's not going to take years for somebody to write a report to see what it is, if it suits them beneficially, financially, to release it. You come, you done the test, you show. And if anybody misuses or abuses, we go public with it. So the people who want to say this and I did that to do that, because we know there's some clandestine activities going in the background to abuse these teachings on the health side. Even we know the people who are very active in Belgium are planning something like stupid like this. We are watching your lines. We watch. You report false, the community will kick you out of it. So come in correct, bring the knowledge, share it with us, that the rest can do. There is a lot of understanding. Why I brought the teaching of the health this way is because you lot will get confidence in your own work. You get confidence in the knowledge you're gaining, and that's what it matters. Fear does not help. Using unknown to create fear, which is going on some sites delivered by one man, about 10 different sites every day, does not help. He used it to help himself. Now when it comes to others, there's something wrong with it, unless the masters need to be paid. Bring the knowledge very correctly. We try to do our best, our webmaster Vince, to bring a lot of things, facilities that you can upload. We've seen now is done with Sando has put a website that you can sign your peace, World Peace Treaty and put it up on the website. We need your attestation. We call it Keshe Foundation testimonial, health testimonial. Bring it in. We set it up. Nobody can control it. Nobody can hijack it like they've done with the Keshe Foundation thought groups. From now on, we make sure nobody can hijack anything to suit them. The setup of the Keshe Foundation hijacking of thought groups is on the video. If you want, we can play it for you, how it was planned to be executed when it's needed by the Belgians. Vince, do you have the rest of that tape where you've spoken about thought groups? Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
The one which you played the health side of it this morning.
Yes?
In the back part is spoken about the thought group setup.
Well, actually, I wanted to speak to you about that later, but I'll speak to you about that now because it's just come out. What he was speaking about was introducing a Moodle and
the thought groups which goes with it.
Exactly. And
that thought groups was set up there deliberately to infiltrate when it is needed. So people can see how advanced the plans were to disrupt the Keshe Foundation. This is 2012. Just play it. Let people see. It's important that we don't let nobody to infiltrate to bring doubts in our work. I don't want you to report success. You've seen what Maltese have done. Does not work. It didn't work. This is better than saying it works, but if it works, why it works?
Okay, just give me a moment to queue, okay?
Okay, no problem. So let me explain something very important. We have requested in the background to be done, and we request from all of you, a part of the Keshe Foundation worldwide, supporters, or people who can see the change can come. You've seen how we changed the position with a piece with the health section. How suddenly I've opened it up.